Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and man, 4 years of Dudes at Ringside. Man, this young lady is has been on the podcast 3 times. Pretty much different parts of her career. It's like different stages of her wrestling bio has been part of this podcast, and her thumbprint is somewhere on those wall of fame with the dark characters. She started off coming on here as Trixie. Then it was Trixie the Game Master. Then it was I can't think of the other half of the name, but now she's back. Now she's coming out of a giant wave. It's welcome Trixie, aka Typhoon. Welcome back.
Tsunami. Thank you.
Tsunami. Well, Tsunami. Typhoon. Isn't that almost the same? Typhoon, isn't it? Typhoon, isn't it?
Sounds like an anime character.
I think Typhoon's like some type of food.
It sounds like an anime character. That's what they be doing.
Yeah. So, Trixie, you have a special guest with you today. Who is this awesome gentleman with the pink cool shades?
Nobody.
I am the one, the only, the fabulous one, Douglas Sanders. I started 3 years ago. I'm sure you've heard of me. I've been making waves, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, starting to make waves in Michigan. But baby, it's the one,
Nobody
the only.
asked.
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are? This is my show.
No, it's
You're
clearly
just
his
here.
show. It's clearly his show. You've been here 4 times now. It's being over.
This is your first.
Anyway, that's who I am, the fabulous one, Douglas Sanders.
Awesome. So, Douglas, I'll start with you because you're new to the Dudes at Ringside podcast. If my internationally known audience, from the people from all over the fans from across the ocean that would be new to you, introduce yourself.
Well, I've already started with my intro. Usually, is I'm the most fabulous man in the room, the fabulous one, Douglas Sanders. But I am the guy. I mean, I say that. I was trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard and Glenn Jacobs himself in Knoxville, Tennessee in 2020. And in 2020 December, I made my debut under the ring name Douglas Sanders, the fabulous one. And I switched it around to the fabulous one, Douglas Sanders, on the next show. And it just stuck since January of 2021, the fabulous one. And I've just been climbing that ladder, and each time I realize I'm at the top, I realize there's a different ladder I gotta climb. And then another one, and that's just the game of wrestling I figured out early on. But that's me right now. Is I'm doing a little change here and there, but Fabulous One is still on track to becoming the number one guy.
So tell me, it's been a while since we actually been in the studio. What have you been up to?
I've just been traveling, wrestling, kicking his ass, putting him in his place. No? Okay. But yeah, basically just traveling, getting out there more. Doing me.
Awesome. So what went into this new persona? Like I said, this is your 4th time coming on. So you started out on Trixie the Game Master, then Trixie then the Game Master, and then this new look with the pig masks, and now this brand new look. What is behind that?
So when I was Amethyst, she has a really dark past, and every time I put on her ring gear, it just didn't go well. So I'm like, well, to get out of that, to be a new me, new me, I wanted to do something that represented where I'm from, and I'm from Hawaii, obviously. So I really wanted to bring that out in the wrestling business now. So now I'm doing Still creepy, cannibalism, Hawaiian type. Trying to make it work.
Mm. I like the tattoo on your hand.
Thank you.
I saw that on the Instagram. I was like, "Ooh, that's a new ink." So what went into that new tattoo? Is it something family related? Is it like something that you love, that flower? Like, what does it symbolize?
So I saw it on Instagram and I fell in love with it. So I really wanted it tattooed on me. But the whole tribal, it's Hawaiian tribal, and that is where I'm from. And the flower is a plumeria flower. And I really, really love those. So I thought it was really pretty.
Mm, that's awesome. So, like, is there any thoughts of you two ever coming to the like Ohio and the like the eat new like tri-state, like where I live, like coming that side, traveling further in?
I would love to.
Right now, I know I'm planning a trip to Michigan to venture out in those neck of the areas, and I'm also hoping to take Tsunami with me. And at that point, I mean, I really just want to compete in front of my family. It's still on one of my bucket lists. I live in Georgia. I'm from the city of Pretty, but most of my family originated from Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Hells, Michigan, just basically that area. So that's one of them that I'm trying to do. Ohio is also on the list. Every state is on the list for me right now. That's my goal, is to not only wrestle but win a title in every state.
Mm. Yes, there's a wrestler that I saw live. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Danny Moe and Visage.
I've heard of him, not much.
He was at the PPW show and he didn't have the belts out on the floor because I don't think wrestlers usually do that when they're at. Some wrestlers do, like they'll have different promotions belts. But long story short, he won the PPW title, the main belt, and after he won it, he had a picture of himself with all three titles, and I'm like, okay, I would have stayed a little longer to take a picture with all those belts. That's nice. Let's just take a picture with all those belts. So, like, when you guys travel, do you guys have to like make sure you have like your all your meals for the whole week, or that like those days that you're traveling, you're gonna be on the road?
You want to start it off, or should I start it off with my diet?
Our diets are terrible. but
Um, my diet right now consists of normal foods, but during the weeks of wrestling weekends, depending on the day, whatever, I will typically not eat much. I will give myself a protein snack, which would be like, let's say, a giant Slim Jim, something with a lot of protein in it to hold me over for most of the day, no matter what I'm doing. And I'll stick with energy drinks and water to keep me energized while also hydrated. That's my basic diet, but I also know I need to fix that up. And with her,
I don't eat before a show. I can't. I feel bloated. So I'll eat like after the show is completely over. So I won't eat for the whole day.
Mm, I'd go nuts. I love food. Like what? Like I thought I couldn't be. I would have to be a manager because I like to eat. Because the place we go to do, I mostly the shows I always go to is in Slatington, and they have a food court right there with like gyros, tacos, wings, everything, beer. I'm like I'd be like, oh god, my trunks don't fit me again. Dang it! I shouldn't have ate all those pizzas. I shouldn't eat that pizza. No, I should have ran to the locker room and ate a granola bar. Oh. So, what
uh,
is either of you? What is like your like go-to tease food to eat after the show?
Whatever's open.
Wrestling diet.
she says what's ever open. To me, there's one place I'll always eat, even back when stuff was still kind of 24/7. And I say that I started in 2020. So nothing was 24/7 except for the few that were just right there hanging on. And my go to, and will always be my go to, is Waffle house.
Oof.
Got like a little fly in here. It just keeps flying. So it may end up on your screen, but just know it's just flying around.
That'd be funny.
Waffle
That'd be
House.
funny if it's like the person that's watching, you say fly, they're going, how do they know?
Waffle House is like almost every wrestler's go to like after a show. Almost, but
If I could, my favorite cheat meal, Zaxby's. And I say that I eat Zaxby's a lot because it's good. It's good for you because of the portion sizes and stuff. But that is one of my main go-tos whenever I'm not wrestling and I'm just editing, creating, or going off to any type of other event.
I love Chick-fil-A. I love the holy chicken.
Holy chicken. Holy chicken. You hear that, Chick-fil-A? You need to change your slogan to holy chicken.
See?
Have just a chicken's a cartoon chicken like this. Instead of like Jesus like this, it's a holy chicken like this. Like clouds around below him. Oh my gosh, that'd be funny.
I mean,
Oh
they all
geez.
closed on Sundays, so
And
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing. I feel like Jesus would be like, let it be open. But nah. Closed on Sundays, understandable. Just a little heart.
A little sad. You gotta cry, put candles by the door, be like, they'll be open on Monday, I promise.
that's when you want it most, though. Every time they're closed.
Yeah. So you said you go to the Waffle House. What is like what would if they could make a like a meal for you if they knew, oh my god, he loves our food. What would be the meal that they'd make as your meal?
Um, I know there's one in Alabama that knows me very well. I always eat there after a show. And they know me as a wrestler. And one time I came in there after winning a title belt in Alabama. I say a title belt, it was their middleweight championship title. We go there and I come in and they of course asked me how it went and I said, hold on, go out to the car, pull out this title, and they're loving it. And so I ordered my traditional, what is it? Uh, cheesesteak melt with hash browns, onions in both. And when I get that, they also bring me two waffles with bacon on top. And they tried their best to spell champ with the bacon, and they ended up just doing whipped cream. But I would say that is the champs special. You got to have your real meal and then your little snack on the side, which would be waffles with bacon, trying to spell out champ, even though that's impossible almost.
Mm. Okay. That's that's an interesting thing. I was like thinking you're gonna say like waffles. I would have said chicken and waffles because if I was a wrestler, I would definitely say chicken and waffles because I haven't really had real Southern chicken and waffles yet. I've had it here on the East Coast, but it doesn't matter if it's here on the East Coast. It has to be in the South to say it's real chicken and waffles. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing going up to like Michigan or Ohio. I think we just got what is that chicken place that's like not a ripoff of Zaxby's, but just like Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's.
We just got one down here in Georgia, but it's not going to be the same because you got to eat it up north because that's their Zaxby's.
Mm. There was one chicken place that used to like comment on the dudes at Ringside, like when we were live on Twitch or Facebook all the time. It was like a chicken place from like I think it was from England, and they would comment, and I used to jokingly tell people, "Man, my friends are like, why haven't you begged them to sponsor you yet?" I'm like, I didn't think about till after they disappeared. I'm like, come back. You could easily be a sponsor of this podcast. If you're out there watching now, come back. We miss you. Like, man. So when like the week of a show, this goes for both of you. Like, what is your normal like training regimen like? Let her answer first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Miss Star.
It's my first time on the show. Of course, I'm the star.
No,
I'm joking.
my show. Go ahead.
Kid. Um,
Okay.
I would say typically you want to get yourself in a mental state than anything. And for me, I like to envision every which way a match could go, will go, how it can end, how it can start, just every which way, training wise, just making sure you got your footwork down, mixed in with, of course, you can practice every move in the book, but you want to make sure you got your fundamentals down too, because that's what can make a match with nothing. You could have a match with the broom, and if you got your fundamentals down, you can make that match perfect.
Mm.
I'm pretty much the same way. But at training, I like to do like blow up drills and learn new stuff. Sometimes I'll have opponents who are, say, assholes, but jerks.
Mm.
And my go to thing is okay, I'm going to go out there and eat their lunch, which is a wrestling term for just out wrestle them.
Mm.
But I always like go to a show and I'll put on my favorite song and try to think of what I'm gonna do in this match. That's basically it.
So what song would that be exactly that they would get either you like to get you like so right before you go to the curtain, if you have the headphones on, what song is that going through blasting in your eardrums that makes you just get into that zone?
So I just fell in love with a new song. It's called Skull and Bones. I don't know who it's by, but I like the rave type music, like that beat. Like that.
Um, if you ask me, I am a what would you call it? I'm a man of many taste. I love many music, so one week it could be this, one week it could be that. I know one time I listened to very violent music, and I had a classic wrestling match. And usually, when you listen to violent music, you want to, get your mind right of, oh, I'm a psycho, or I'm mentally disturbed, or this or that. Recently, I've fallen in love with Elvis, Hunka Hunka Burning Love. I'm going ham on that one. That's one of my go-tos now. With that one, for some reason, just gets me in the spirit.
Mm. So with you guys both being wrestlers, is it like tougher to book a show? You have to like figure out if you're both on the show together, or do you know who's booked where? Is it how does it feel to be like in a wrestling relationship? Like, do you guys plan things together with the schedule with the wrestling, or
So if a promoter reaches out to me and asks me if I'm available on like say February 20 or 19th, I'll be like, yeah, I am. Then I'll ask him if he's available that day, and if he is, I'll try to like, hey, if you guys have any openings, my fiance is gonna be with me if you need a wrestler, and I'll send him his name, all that stuff. Usually they'll say that they're full. That's how it is, but he'll end up managing me if he goes. But I don't know about you.
Right now, my wrestling career it's slowed down a little. I suffered a hand injury in November of 2023, this past year. And at that time, I was the hardcore champion for Tennessee Wrestling Alliance in Pikeville, Tennessee. I was doing a program with my brother. Um, and when that happened, I had to cease bookings. And since then, I've made my return back to wrestling in January. And right now, we're kind of going into a different path. But before that, I would try to get her booked with me or get this and that going. And sometimes it'd work out, sometimes it wouldn't work out. And with that, it's wrestling business because Some promoters like to think ahead of time. There's week to week shows, there's month to month shows, there's 3 month to 3 month shows, and then there's yearly shows. And a lot of them like to plan out 8 weeks ahead, year ahead, this and that of what they'd like. And when it starts to finalize, they don't want to take their eyes off that tunnel. Because the moment
Yeah.
they do, something happens, something goes wrong. So if they add one person, then they figure out, wow, I got too many people. I ain't gonna make no profit. People don't get paid. So it happens like that sometimes, and we just bear down. And basically, sometimes Fridays we're together at Pro South Wrestling in Piedmont, Alabama. But then, like on Saturdays, this upcoming Saturday, I'll be in Austell, Georgia, and she will be possibly at Pro South Wrestling again this upcoming Saturday in Piedmont, Alabama.
This is the first weekend we're actually on a show that's an hour. Because usually it's about 2.5 or 1.5 hours that we're usually booked on.
Mm.
Yeah. I go far for some of mine. Like one of the ones I started in, it's 3 hours away, 3 hours back, and I love it. I say that they gave me my start, so I try to give them at least 5 shows a year. And when I do that, like she says, it's fun because she's texting me for like 3 hours, making sure I'm up and I'm over here like jamming out to TikToks or YouTube. I'm like, yeah. And she's, are you okay? 360 says you're doing 95. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Oh gosh. She said, I didn't hear from you for like an hour. What were you doing? And then it shows you like, yeah, on TikTok.
What can I say? I love TikTok too. It makes the time go by quickly, especially when you want it to. Like me, you can ask her, what's your favorite thing to do to make a show go by? I say a show go by, get to the show.
My music.
You like listening to your music? Me, TikToks, because for some reason, 30-second videos, they can make an hour go by in 30
For
seconds.
some reason, you love TikTok more than me, so.
I put my clips from my episodes on TikTok, and I put the promos of like you guys make a promo or like a promo for the podcast or just a promo in general about the episode or just for the podcast. I'll put that sucker on TikTok and it have like 200 views in an hour. But on YouTube, it takes like a week just to get the shorts to get like a little views. But the episodes, maybe a day or two, it'll be have like 19 views, and I'm like, what? Do I have to make shorts of episodes too so they go faster? Like what the hell?
I've learned the key of YouTube is consistency, 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 but also doing what the people want.
Promoting,
Yes.
sharing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And help people out like you guys and get you guys names on this side of the coast and every other place in the world. Before we go, guys, if any of my fans want to like pick up any merch or anything fun from either of you guys, where can they find it?
I got my own website coming. I will also be having stuff going on Pro Wrestling Tees. And of course, if you ever see me at a store, I say store, my bad. If you ever see me at a wrestling show, I always got merch on me, something.
Mine's on Pro Wrestling Tees also, but that's under Amethyst. I'm still working on my new one.
Okay. If anybody wanted to follow you on socials, where can they find you?
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on all the handles. YouTube, I just uploaded my first video on my new YouTube channel, which will be following my new story, my new chapter. And it is all under Douglas Sanders, the fabulous one. Um,
Mine's been changed a lot. My Facebook, it's now Tsunami, but there's a space between Su and Nami. That's the same thing on Instagram.
Awesome. if you don't forget to like this video, fans, make sure to subscribe. Definitely give Douglas an awesome subscribe because it's nice to give people, fellow YouTubers, the love. Show them the love. Give them a nice subscribe. And if you're not subscribed to the Joe Panther Variety Show yet, what are you doing? The subscribe button. Make it fireworks come out of it. Make the thumbs up. Make that. Don't you love that when you subscribe? That goes. I've
Yeah.
watched people subscribe. I'm like this. You doing it yet? Like, and I give them my QR code and they get it, and then I'm like, one person, I don't know how we do it, and I grab their phone and I'm just like, "No, you want me to push it?"
Just
I always get,
subscribe.
"Do you want me to push it? Want me to push it?" And I'm like, they're like, "Oh, I don't know how to do it," and I'm like, "Give me your phone. Watch." I'm showing them their own phone. I'm like, I want you to push the subscribe button." They're like,
It's that easy.
You're a better man than me because I be taking like people's phones all the time saying, "You like my video? What? Did you like my video on Facebook? I ain't even open Facebook. Let me see it. There you go. Now watch it. Gotta make
I
sure
get
gotta
mad
make
because
sure
I
you
give
like it
them the
before
QR code, and people. I've had people. They scan my card, and I'm like, they're like, you can see it. I can see it in their glasses or their eyes. See the picture, my logo, and I'm like, and then they're like, yeah, okay, and they walk away. I'm like, these little bastards didn't even subscribe. They didn't even subscribe. So, guys, I want to thank you two for coming on the podcast. It was so much fun. Definitely give them a follow. Good luck in all your upcoming shows, guys. I'm Joe Panther the Third.
I am Tsunami.
I am the fabulous one, Douglas Sanders. Didn't know we were doing this, but hey.
And we will catch you in the next one. It was fun, guys.